Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the reworked Yorick, and I'm going to give my opinion on whether or not I think he's going to be stronger after these changes he's getting. So I did play one game of him myself on the PBE server. I played him in the jungle though, so I didn't play him in the top lane. I'm not sure exactly how strong he's going to be in the top lane, but I do have a good idea of his abilities and stuff, so I'm just going to go over those really quickly with you here. So first we have his passive here, and whenever you kill a minion or a champion, then a grave spawns out of the ground. And then your graves, if we take a look at the queue here, once you do have 3 of them, you can activate your queue to spawn them, and you'll see here that they become mistwalkers, and they go towards the nearest target, I think, and they deal a decent amount of damage. And then there's also a second part to his Q. The second part is like it will deal more damage. It's kind of like a Nasus Q. I don't think it shows in the clip here. Like he doesn't use the... okay, he uses it on the minion there. So it's basically like a Nasus Q. And then once you do get at least 3 of your little passive guys down, 3 of your graves, then you can summon these Mistwalkers that will run towards a champion. And then if we take a look at his W here, his W is pretty interesting. When I did play Yorick jungle, it actually allows him to gank pretty effectively. If the enemy does not have flash, then you're pretty much guaranteed a free kill when you do gank with Yorick. So I feel like we might see a little bit of Yorick jungle. And then if we take a look at his E here, it's like an ability that has like a soft slow, and then it marks the target, and then your Mistwalkers will automatically go to that target and they'll just jump on them and deal quite a bit of damage. And then his ultimate is what everybody is saying is like really strong right now, and I definitely do agree. It deals so much damage, and for top lane Yorick, this is what's going to make him like a really strong dueling top lane champion. If he can just like have his ultimate up and like duel the enemy champion, then he's gonna win a lot of those duels, especially if he does have, I'm pretty sure Trinity Force is gonna be core on Yorick, so once he gets that item, he's gonna be a very strong dueling top laner. So basically his ultimate, he places it down and it deals damage to the nearest target. Now when I did play him, his ultimate, it's kind of weird because it just goes off into a random direction. You can't control it, and it doesn't like target a certain champion. It just targets whoever's closest to Yorick. So in a team fight, this might not be the best if it ends up targeting like the enemy tank champion, because it would be really nice if you could control it and have it target like the enemy squishies, but it's definitely going to make him a very strong split pushing champion, because when you're split pushing, it's going to target that champion that you are dueling. Now, I'm just going to give you guys like my initial opinion on whether or not I think Yorick is going to be strong. So he isn't on live servers yet, he is on the PBE, but after playing him a little bit and after seeing a few gameplays of him, I think that he's going to be a solid pick for sure. He's going to be a lot better than like the Yorick that's on live right now. I think that he does still have his main weaknesses though. They did not cover those up in the rework. So his main weaknesses before were that he does not have a gap closer and he doesn't have any hard CC. And therefore, if you fall behind with him in the early game and you don't have your items, you're going to be pretty useless on the champion. Now, if you can get ahead in the laning phase, then he's a very, very strong split pushing champion. His split push is really good. He can even like, he's kind of like an Alawi almost. He can 1v2 really well if his ultimate is off cooldown. So if I were to give Yorick an initial rating here out of 10 as to how strong I think he's going to be, I would honestly only give him like a 7, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. He does have very good potential, that's for sure. He can be a very strong split push top lane champion, but he still does have that main weakness of being an easy gank target in the early game. And I feel like with this new Yorick, you are probably going to end up pushing out in lane like the old Yorick as well. So if the enemy jungler locks someone like a Lee Sin or a Nidalee or an Elise, and you're pushing out in lane, then you're a pretty free gank in the early game. And if you do fall behind, even with the reworked Yorick, you're going to be pretty useless. You don't provide any good crowd control for team fights, and you don't have that gap closer. So if you don't get ahead in the early game and you're not able to split push and you're not able to duel the enemy top lane champion, I don't see him really being like much stronger than the Yorick that's on live servers right now. So with all that being said, guys, let me know down in the comment section below of what you do think of the reworked Yorick. If you can get ahead in the laning phase and you can get your items and just split push on him, then I think he can be a very strong top laner. But I don't think his team fight is going to be that great. He doesn't provide that great crowd control in team fight. So unless he does have really crazy strong damage, he's not going to do all that well compared to someone like a Kennen or a Gnar who can provide some nice crowd control as well as some good damage. So thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.